It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
It is showtime. What's happening, everybody? You know what time is it? It is Geno Jones showtime. Hey, everybody, I am here. I am glad to be here. I am glad you are here with me. If you are watching me live, and if you're not watching me live, if you're watching me like on demand, I'm still glad to have you. So now, let me explain to you how this thing goes down. The Geno Jones Show. You did not even. Let's see here. I just got a message from YouTube. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. All right, we got it. So anyway, I'm looking. My monitor looks good, so hopefully the shot looks good. So I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones channel right here on YouTube. Subscribe, share, like, binge watch, screen grab, put up on TikTok, on Instagram, put it up on, what's the other one? You got TikTok and I can't even think of it, but it'll come to me. Put it up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. You grab about 30, 60 seconds. It's all good. All right. So let's get the show started today. Now, I am waiting on a guest. As a matter of fact, I'm what they call Phil. I'm filling some time here. South Carolina State Representative Wendell Gilliard. He is South Carolina State Representative for District 111. As a matter of fact, I think, there you go. I think we'll be seeing him shortly. So anyway, he's going to be my guest today. So let's see. So much to talk about. And I got as much time as I need. So let me just start off, because I'm a huge fan of this woman. Say it isn't so, Serena. No, don't go. Say it ain't so. Serena Williams, apparently she sat down for an interview with Vogue magazine, right? So Serena said in this conversation, in this interview, that she plans to retire soon, like real soon. Like how soon? Like, early September. As a matter of fact, she said as soon as she'll be, so let me go back. She said, I'm going to be 41 soon, and something's got to give, because this, I'm going to be all in, both feet in, playing tennis, or both feet in, having a baby. She wants to grow her family. So she says she's ready to step away from tennis. Tennis is not ready for you to step away. But you know what? You've given all of us, Serena, you've given literally, you and your sister, you and Venus rescued and revived American tennis. So you had these two young teenage black girls out of Compton, California, South Central, with the beads in their head, and they didn't know how to handle you all, and you all dealt with all kind of racism, sexism, just all kind of ugliness. And all you did, Serena, is win 23 Grand Slam singles titles. One more, and you can tie the record for the most Grand Slam titles ever of anybody, female or male. And Venus, 7 Grand Slam singles titles. But Serena said, look, I can't just keep doing this. Eventually, I got to walk away. I plan to retire at the end of the U.S. Open. Now, the U.S. Open is going to start August 29th. So by early mid-September, Serena is hanging up. Now, Venus is she's still out there playing, but Serena said, I'm going to step back, big sis, I'm going to hand it to you. And she said, I want to grow. She wants to focus on having another baby. She has the, I believe it's Alexis. Her and her husband have the beautiful baby girl, and she wants to focus on having another child and focus on her business ventures. So Serena, my sister, you have earned the right to do whatever the hell you want to damn do. And I support you. I'm going to miss you. Man, boy, I'm going to miss you. I am. I'm not even mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. Not at all. Yes, you gave the brothers a good run. It didn't work out. So I'm rooting for you. The FBI, yes, you've heard. Yes, Orange Hitler. Now, karma, dude. I keep telling you, karma. All right? Nobody, no one is above the law. Now, some people I know think that they are above the law because they've been able to get away with a whole lot of ish for a long time. But the FBI executed a search warrant on the Mar-a-Lago home of the orange dudes. I call him Orange Hitler. That's right. Hello, Mr. Trump. We have a legal search warrant. We're going to need you to, as a matter of fact, we're going to need all y'all to step out. Secret Service, y'all fall back. These FBI agents, we're going to go in. We have a search warrant. We know what we're looking for. As a matter of fact, they came out with 15 boxes. So apparently, the FBI is looking for some classified documents that your boy took with him. Because, he just thought these were like high school love letters to an ex-girlfriend and he could take this stuff with him. No, they have their federal laws against taking all kind of classified documents because a lot of that stuff belongs to the office of the president. And the office of the president represents the people. It's not your personal, it's like you can't go to your job. Like I can't go to my radio station and just walk out with all kind of microphones and amps and computers. No. I mean, I could do that if I wanted to go to jail. So just because you're the president, you're not the king. And a lot of that stuff belongs to the office of the president. So we'll see what's going to happen because the MAGA cult's losing their damn mind, talking about civil war. Listen, let me just say this. To all the MAGA cults is watching, because I know some of you are all watching and you'll be commenting. Listen, this talk about civil war, you don't want this. Nobody wants it. But you all think that you want it, that you looking for a fight and we want a civil war in 1776. You really, really, really don't want that. Because nobody's going to win. That's going to turn ugly for everybody. So what you all need to do is to calm y'all punk ass down. Calm your ass down. Sit down before you hurt somebody or get hurt. Because this is not what America is all about. Now, if you're harboring that much hate, y'all go buy an island and leave. Because remember, the indigenous people, this is really their home. We are all immigrants. Some of us, our ancestors were forced immigrants, but we are all immigrants. For the indigenous Native American brothers and sisters, not to mention the indigenous Mexican brothers and sisters, before like America basically took South Texas and the southern part of New Mexico and Arizona and Southern California, all that was Mexico. If you look at maps from like the 15th, 16th century, yes, what's now South Texas and New Mexico and like Phoenix, all that, the south part of Arizona and San Diego, I think almost up to LA, that was Mexico. All right, San Antonio, remember the Alamo? Just Google that. All right, before I bring on my guest, happy birthday. Shout out to my Leos, my Lions, Leos, roar. Happy birthday to Hoda Kotb. She is one of the hosts of the Today Show. Hoda Kotb is 58, my sister. Happy birthday to you. Also celebrating a birthday, the greatest cornerback in the history of the National Football League. The man that many of us know is prime time. Deion prime time Sanders is double nickel, 55 today. Deion, my man, doing real good things. The head coach repping the HBCUs down at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. That was a real good move. Coach Sanders, Coach Deion, and a good look, brother. I'm proud of you. And happy heavenly birthday to the greatest singing voice that I and many people ever heard. Whitney Houston. Today, she would have been 59. Happy birthday, Whitney. Rest in power. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. Oh, I miss you so much. But I've got your music and memories. I met you when you first came to Chicago, when your album first came out. They had a meet and greet and a listening party. Wow, that was a long time ago. And watched your journey and always rooted for you and still do. So rest in power, my sister. We got your music and your memories, and your legacy will live on forever and ever, 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 as Outkast says, and ever, ever, ever. All right, my guest, ladies and gentlemen, he is the South Carolina State Representative for District 111. And he's here to talk about the midterm elections, why it is so important for you to vote. And not just vote. You can't just vote. You got to make sure that you hold your elected officials accountable. You got to, get with, there you go. You got to get with elected officials or form some of your community organizations, some of you law school students, some of you lawyers, and start writing policy or the laws. As a matter of fact, this man can tell you about that better than I can. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is on camera, the beautiful setup. There you, need I say anything else? That is South Carolina State Representative Wendell Gilliard. Brother Gilliard, it is always a pleasure to have you on the show, man. I get so excited to talk to you. I'm blessed to call you, not just consider, but to call you not just a friend, but a brother. I've been here for 17 years, and it's been an honor to work with you. Our heart is, and our passion is about our culture and the community, and of all people, but specifically of our people in our community, because for 403 years that we've had to fight, and we're still fighting, and nobody is fought, especially here in South Carolina, has fought the good fight, and you're still fighting it. So just want to give you your props. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, first of all, I hope you can hear me pretty good,
Yeah.
Geno.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's always an honor and privilege to be in your presence. And, we recognize the work that you're doing here throughout the state of South Carolina. You're the talk of the state, not the town. You're very informative. Keep on doing what you're doing, because it is having a great, not a good, but a great impact throughout the state of South Carolina. And I heard your intro, and you touched on a lot of things. I'm fresh off of the visit just a couple of weeks ago down in Savannah, Georgia. Representative Carl Gilliard, he's a state lawmaker in Savannah, Georgia. I call him cuz. He and we were networking for the last 18 years as far as corresponding with, laws and how he approached his bills in Georgia, and it reflects on how I approach mine here in the state of South Carolina. That's what we call networking across the borders, and we need more of that in the state of South Carolina. But at his event in Savannah, I just happened to have been seated and met Judge Timothy R. Walmsley, and that's the judge that presided over the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Oh, wow.
If you go on my Facebook, you can see us collaborating at the event. I invited him here to Charleston. When I bring him here, I asked him to be on your show. And I'm waiting on his response. He told me he's looking forward to doing it because he wanted to come down to visit Mother Emanuel, him and his lovely wife, whom I had the pleasure of meeting with his children that night. And we had a very productive discussion during the event, thanks to Representative Carl Gilliard. And I also had the pleasure of meeting Georgia Legislative Black Caucus member, Mr. Jackson, Representative Derek Jackson.
Great.
He's no stranger to Charleston. Very good friends of the Reverend McLean family. And he and I had a good time. So it was a very productive night. And just to wake up next couple of days and see that this trial hearing about the judgment came down from that case.
Yes.
It was very historic.
For the shooter and the dad of the shooter, they got life in prison. So.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Okay.
So I always say, Representative Gilliard, I don't know if I can call it justice, because for me, justice would mean that Ahmaud Arbery would be able to be jogging around his neighborhood. But at least
Yes.
it's accountability.
Yes. Yes. And what I tell people, when you look at what happened to Ahmaud Arbery and all the other cases such as that, we have to really stand back as a people and understand that, we are definitely under attack. And when I say we, I'm talking about we, the people. And I always like to defer to the Constitution because a lot of my friends, most of my friends, don't like the fact that when I articulate the Constitution, I believe in doing research, but I believe in keeping in character. And I always tell people when you look at the Constitution, it was not written for indigenous people, people who were enslaved, black people mainly, enslaved people, and women.
Yes.
Okay, and people have to understand that when I always use the approach. My father always taught me always put it where the goats can get it.
I love
In
it.
other words, keep it plain, keep it real, and stay in character. And I'm a strong believer in that. My father molded that in us. As I learn things in life, I'm gonna deliver it not the way you would think a Harvard grad or somebody.
Yes.
I don't get into all that foolishness as to impress people. I like to break it down because my father taught me, and this is barbershop knowledge is what I call it. My dad had good education, best education, but he always told me, he said, son, always remember this. All smart people didn't go to high school and all geniuses didn't graduate college.
That part. That part.
And I wrote that down and I lived by that. In other words, even though you and I had good education, okay, I'm a union organizer. I studied parliamentary government through college education. Geno, you're well educated. And people have to understand, I don't come back trying to impress people. I didn't come back trying to impress people. I've been here and I did this, I learned this, and no. My time here now is spent sharing and giving, okay? Because I see people, it's like Reverend Jesse Jackson always taught you and I, everybody is a playing field in this country and in our lives. It's a playing level field. The level, everything is, we're on the same level. Nobody's higher or lower, and we have to understand that as we walk through life. So I can talk to the President of the United States just like I talk to you, Geno.
Right. And we all have a role to play. All of us do.
And we all have our role to play. You're so right. But getting back to your other topic, this thing that happened just recently with hashtag 45, he deserves everything that's coming to him. I mean, if we're just out of words, we're at a standstill as far as trying to call him names. We use cuss words and everything else. The guy is just a complete imbecile, a complete jackass. Okay? Let's just get that straight. Just keep it plain. Okay. He never qualified to be anything in politics and never wanted to be. All he came to politics to do is with any other rich, white, racist person would do. They want you to bend to their every beckoning. They want you to understand that they are higher and that you are lower. Okay? We just will just break it down and keep it plain and that from that perspective. Because this Trump thing has really gotten this country and now this world in trouble. What we need in Washington is people with backbone, people who are not, people with common sense and common dignity wants to stand up for truth and justice. Okay, one time there was such thing called a moderate Republican. The moderate Republicans are Republicans that at the end of the day, we can get along with them. We compromise for we the people. Those are moderate Republicans. Trump's mission was when he became president, he wanted to go after all moderate Republicans.
Yes, he did.
And he paved the way for the David Dukes of the world. And whoever's hearing my voice, Google David Duke. If you remember him, when he was a racist, he was a Ku Klux Klan member,
Yes, a leader.
preacher to the highest.
In
We used to
Louisiana.
call him the Grand Pooper, if
Yes.
you remember.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've been infiltrated at all levels of government,
Yes.
all the way down to our school boards and everything else with the David Dukes of America. And they come in both genders, male and female. Let's get that.
Yes.
And that's what we're dealing with, because that's what's clear and present in our society. So let's face it, okay, the David Dukes now have left the port, and they have just, they're now landing in all the ports here in this country, and they're invading America.
Wait, they're running for governor, they're running for senator, not just in the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. They're running to be governors, state senators, state representatives, which I wanted to segue into that because, yes, we do have the midterms, but I always tell people the most really important elections, you could make an argument, or equally important, is the elections that affect you every day right there in the city or the town, the community you live in. You just mentioned school board, mayors, council people, state representatives like yourself, Representative Crystal Matthews, state senators like State Senator Mia McLeod, governors. We have Joe Cunningham that's running to be governor. So if we were to walk into a barbershop right now, let's imagine you and I are walking into a series of barbershops, hair salons, or maybe just walking down the streets and guys are playing some pickup basketball or playing softball. I want you to put it where the ghost can get it. What is the message that you want to deliver to all people, but especially I always want to refer to my young people, my millennials and Gen Zers, because they don't realize how much power they have, and these people in power are trying to make them feel disillusioned and tell them that their vote doesn't count, and Joe Biden hadn't done this. They don't want these young people to realize the power they have. It's their time. It is their turn to take these positions of leadership. So what message would you deliver to everybody, but specifically to the young people, and put it, like you say, where the goats can get it?
Look, first, to the younger generation, because, you and I, we can fit that description one time in our lives. and what we had is leaders out here trying to get everybody to get committed, get inoculated, and get educated. When I say educated, I'm talking about when we say go vote, I always tell people this. First, get to know the people who are running for office. You don't have to go to a library anymore. You can touch your watch and find out about Representative Wendell Gilliard, who Geno Jones is, and the thing. And you judge us by the things that we're doing.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody can be a good orator. The devil is a good orator. You understand? But you judge us by the things that we have done and the things that we're still doing. And you should all measure us by that. Get to know us. And when I say get to know us, study us. We have left a trail of information on the things that we're doing. And if you want to call us anytime, get to know us like that. I call it the old-fashioned way. Okay, everybody always called me and said, "My God, you answered the phone." Well, it works for me. It works for my ancestors when they had that type of capabilities. But nevertheless, you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You get to know all your players out in the field. Let's understand that. And then you have to register. Secondly, you go register to vote. And not just you, but all through our lives. And Geno, you've been motivating and educating people to get to the polls. So we've been trying to get people to the polls. So I challenge all the young people, just don't you go to the polls, but you carry your brothers, your sisters, your friends, okay? Carry people to the polls. And when you go down there, get information to pass out in your community as far as voter education. And there are a lot of brochures information at the ready that I still pass out to all my events. Okay, whether it's the Martin Luther King Picture Award, Project Cool Breeze, you will notice on my flyers it says photo ID. We have voter applications on hand to pass out, and we've been doing that for up to 10 years. So I challenge the people, the younger generation, to do these things. Okay, and then more importantly, get to the polls and vote. It's one thing to register people, have your card, okay, and become a voter, but more importantly now, that day that it comes upon all of us to get to the polls and vote. And that's the day I challenge the young people again to carry a friend who does not have a car, get a van and get people to the polls.
Yes.
The younger people, Geno, as you well know, just recently, they demonstrated that the power that they have, that they can do it when Obama, you remember when Obama ran for president?
Absolutely.
He turned out the numbers. Stacey Abrams just recently did it in Georgia when she flipped the state, helped flip the state. And notice I said help, because she's a great organizer. She's a strong organizer. She helped flip Georgia from red to blue.
Yes, she did.
And that's, Georgia is, as you well know, is our next door neighbor. If they can do it, the point is we can do it too.
Absolutely, and I'm glad I'm going to segue on that point. There are two quick points I wanted to make, but just to follow up on what you were talking about, Senator Raphael Warnock, Senator John Ossoff. So in the deep South, in the heart of Dixie, who would have believed that you would have had the first black man U.S. Senator and the first Jewish man as a U.S. Senator elected at the same time, at the same election? I could imagine like all the neo-Nazis, the Proud Boys, the Ku Klux Klan's heads were exploding. But just like that happened here, we've got State Representative Crystal Matthews, who's been a guest on the show many times, running to
she's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Running to be, and I'm naming and claiming she will be our next United States Senator against Tim Scott. Now, let me just say this, because Wendell, you talked about something about studying people, study what they say, what they do, more importantly. So I want to talk about what Mr. Tim Scott, Mr. From Cotton to Congress, did. Tim Scott voted to block, basically, private insurance was basically going to be required in this new piece of legislation that the president's about to sign. So part of that law was that private insurance would be required to charge no more than $35 for insulin.
True.
So Tim Scott voted against that. So he voted to block to block the cap that they were going to put on private insurance in terms of, or I should say, the pharmaceutical industry charging not just their customers but people who have private insurance.
Right.
Because some people pay $600, $700, $900, $1,000 a month for insulin. I got people in my family that have diabetes, and what's amazing, there's so many people who have supported this dude, and here it is, he is showing you, as my mother would say, he is giving you his ass to kiss. He is telling you he's not concerned about your health or your grandmother's health or your father's health or maybe your brother's or your sister's health or your health. Why would anybody vote to block keeping insulin costs at $35 a month?
Because
it leaves me speechless. That's why I had to pause. I'm like, who would do that?
He has demonstrated to the people, not Wendell Gilliard, but to the people, that he's about the party and not the people. Okay? Let's face it, the Republicans are now, sad to say, they have a dysfunctional party, whether it's on the federal level, whether it's on the state level. The party itself has played into this Trumpism.
Yes.
And that's why we refer to them as trumpets. And Tim has demonstrated that he's going to kiss Trump's ass at any cost, at any level, and he will get rich in the process. Okay. Why am I being so blatant? Because I think people can understand how I feel, the world feels about the Tim Scotts of this country. And you know what is so bad? Now you've got other young black men, that's running for office. They want the Tim Scott Prize. I could be a boneless SOB. I could,
Yeah.
oh my God, I wish I was not one color. I wish I was just white and right is what we used to say.
Right.
And it's sad because I could sit here and tell you all Republicans are not in favor of Tim Scott. I can truly say that. But with the problem I have with those Republicans, they are now afraid to speak up.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
I
like
don't see a lot of Republicans taking a stance like they should for the betterment of democracy and the betterment of this republic. And it's a shame because almost like they have ran for the hills since Trump has come on the scene. And it's despicable to even watch. So my point is, Geno, we need people in politics. We need a functional Republican Party. We already got a functional Democrat Party, thank God. And we need both parties to be functional for this country to operate. Now, South Carolina as a whole, the Republicans have had this state for 2 decades, almost 2 decades now. We're considered a red state. In all fairness to the moderate Republicans, the ones that are left, any Republicans that can hear my voice that has common sense and common dignity, they should now cross-vote and vote blue. Let the Democrats have this chance for a while, because I can point and you can point like you always do, because I love the way you articulate everything. But you can point to education, you can point to jobs, you can point to imprisonment, you can point to the women's rights. I mean, you can point to anything from A to Z.
Yes.
And I always turn to the people and say, let me ask you this. Is this a red state or a blue state? Because the Democrats are on the state level introducing bills that would help in all those areas that I just named. But because of the legislative process, okay, there's 124 of us in the House. The Republicans now outnumber us 3-1. Okay, so we're not in the majority. We are in the minority, but we still put up a good fight. We still represent. And that's why I always tell people, watch what we do and measure us by that. Never what we say. Okay, because we're in the House, we have our own form of filibuster. We'll stay there 8, 12 hours until we work all the rules in the House, and then someone will call for closure. That's at the end of the day. It comes down to voting. So if you're outnumbered in the House and in the Senate, you know what's going to happen at the end of the day. We only had that pleasure for 2 decades.
Wow.
Now we have to put a stop to it. We have to do what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia. South Carolina needs to go from red to blue. And the only way we're going to do that, we have to turn out the numbers.
And the numbers are here. I just want to jump in before I lose your live shot, before you run out of time, just to piggyback, because you're talking about politics here in South Carolina. We talked about the governor's race, and you've got House races like yourself. You've got state Senate races. But I want to share with you, because Governor McMaster, or Governor, as I call him, Foghorn Leghorn, they had these trigger laws that basically, when the Supreme Court got rid of Roe versus Wade, the Supreme Court decision that said that abortion should be safe and legal in all 50 states. South Carolina was quick, and now apparently Governor McMaster wants to go and, I guess, amend the law and to virtually ban all abortions, including in cases of rape. If a 10-year-old girl was raped or victim of incest, too bad, she's got to have the baby. If the mother's life is in danger, too bad, she's got to have the baby. So, Wendell, I wanted to share this with you. I think this is important. I hope that Joe Cunningham, I hope that everybody that's running for an office here in the state of South Carolina, city office, county office, state office. My baby girl, who you've met, she's a junior in college. She'll be a junior in college in September. Early this year, right after the Supreme Court repealed Roe, She said, Dad, Mom, she said, I love you all. She said, I love to come home and visit you all. She said, but I will never come back to the state of South Carolina. And the main reason she said that was because of when South Carolina virtually made abortions illegal. She said, my body does not belong to a politician. This is my body. I have a right to decide if I want to have a child or not. I may never want to have a child, or when I want to have a child. I want to pursue my career, my education. And she just, out the clear blue, articulated it very well, Wendell. And she's written, she said, she's representative of a lot of her friends. She's 20. A lot of her friends, her peers, young women and young men, they've had that same conversation among themselves. So I just wanted to let you speak to that. We got a couple minutes, about 2.5 minutes.
I tell you, they really stepped in it. Sad to say, and it reverts back to when we talked earlier, like I previously stated, that when you look at the Constitution, it was, they did not include women. Okay, they could give a damn about women, and they're showing that to this day. Okay, but I've seen the doctors. We've been getting the phone calls. These doctors are in a pickle. They don't know what to do. We're forcing women to travel cross borders, in other states, putting their lives in jeopardy on the road, etc. The women with rare diseases, when the doctor have to come in and give the man a choice or the family a choice and say, look, it's between this woman and this baby, but you can't have it both. I've known a lot of people in that predicament because you're looking at one of them. And I've told the story. Okay, experience teaches you everything. Okay, I had to make a choice between at one point in my life, between my wife's child and her. I mean, she's no longer with us, but I still had a choice to make. Okay, because I always tell people that there's no shame in my game because all of us are just passing through this life. But these Republicans have stepped in a world of crap with this abortion issue. They have been forewarned by Democrats for decades and decades, and now look what has happened. Look what it's taken. And hopefully our white brothers and sisters who are Republicans will wake up and get to the polls and cross vote. It's time to vote this state blue, this country blue, and then give us a chance. And when I say us, I'm talking about we, the people, okay? I'm not talking about I, the party, because that's what the Republicans are about. They've already demonstrated, okay? When they let that Jack butt in as 45th, you would have to sit back and say, okay, he introed himself with porn stars talking about women's vaginas, calling Africa shithole countries, quoting him, I'm not ashamed to tell you, degrading black people. What would happen?
Mexicans, Muslims.
Black person would fall to this Jack in the box. I mean, let's be real about this. Okay, he is a danger to this country, a danger to civilization, and he should be in jail.
Yes,
that's just the bottom line.
Let me jump in, and we got to talk about Project Cool Breeze. I'm gonna have 60 seconds. But guess who said exactly what you said? He's the most dangerous person and president this country's ever had. Guess who said that? Dick Cheney. That's right, Mr. Dick Cheney, Mr. Let's Go to War, Dick Cheney, South Carolina. Your man, Dick Cheney, said that about your boy.
Yes.
So don't listen to me and Wendell.
He almost had him killed. Yeah. He would have died along with everybody else.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Whether it was Pence or Cheney or hell, the insurrection unto itself. Yes. It should be no more question. Lock him up, lock anybody. Who the hell is going to agree with this clown after the insurrection? I saw Tim Scott today on national news. Heartbreaking. He's making money. He's getting rich. It's about Tim Scott. Ain't about no damn we the people. So you just well wake up. And y'all gotta quit giving this Negro a green card. Because if that was Geno out there, Gilliard out there, Porter Campbell out there, everybody would have been looking to lynch us. Let's get that straight. Okay? Quit giving Tim Scott a green card. All right, this is pathetic. All right, Tim Scott told me at the state house, because we tend to follow each other in politics. We all the black people at one point where we were debating the photo ID bill, Geno, we got up as to protest. The chairman got up to the well and said, everybody is black in here, let's get up and walk out. Well, I got in that line and I walked out. I was the last person walked out, and I looked to my right side. This is when he was serving at the state level, state representative. Tim Scott was the only black person left in the House, kept his seat. And don't you know, I had two white lawmakers came outside behind me that were Republicans and said, you know what, Mr. Gilliard, for that stunt that Tim Scott did in there keeping his seat, he said, as white men, we're not going to trust him because he can't stand up for something like a photo ID for black people, for to vote against it, knowing that that was another way to just stop people from getting to the polls. They said they don't have no more respect for him. And I told Tim Scott about the incident after that. You know what he said to me? He said, see, Wendell, because my last word to Tim Scott in the House was, man, you're supposed to represent the people. This ain't about how they treat your mama, how they treat your brother or sister. You came up here to represent the people. Quit giving us all that sad story about a white man did this to you. How many damn white people gonna get out here and grab a black man and do what the hell they... I don't want no white man to give me that kind of help. I don't need it. I said, you need to tell them, like James Brown said, open up the door. I get it myself. Damn all them stories. You know what Tim Scott told me? He said, that's the difference between me and you, Wendell. I come up here to make money. You come up here to represent the people.
Wow.
I'm finished.
Say no more. That's a drop the mic. But, all right, before you get out of here, I got to give Representative Gilliard a shot. For about 2 decades, he has a program, Project Cool Breeze, to where, and I just lost his live shot. So anyway, Project Cool Breeze, he has been donating fans. As a matter of fact, let me come back on camera. He's been donating fans and air conditioners to seniors on fixed income or seniors and elderly who are low income and don't have the money, don't have the budget to buy air conditioners and fans. He's got another giveaway coming in 2 weeks. I'm going to bring him back on so he can talk just about Project Cool Breeze. But we'll give you the location and he'll let you know going forward. If there's somebody in your family, you have an elderly parent or grandparent or maybe yourself will qualify. He'll tell you what the qualifications are and how you can be a part of Project Cool Breeze. Thank you, Brother Gilliard. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones channel. Subscribe, share, like, share this in every episode. Share this episode, screen grab some of it. We got a lot of hot content here. Put it up on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat. That was the other one I couldn't think of earlier. Snapchat. Put it wherever. Twitch. Just put it out. Let everybody see it. Just make it go viral. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in Goose Creek, South Carolina, part of the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Go and find him. As a matter of fact, you don't have to find him. You just type this in, he'll pop right up on Instagram. Kel be cutting up, because Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, she is the drip director. You like the drip? The fashion, the gear, the style. She is the fashion, I call her the drip director. She's the wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. She is on Instagram. It's LX. L is in Lexi, X is in extra, dot, N like Nancy, C like Charlie, L like Larry, LXNCL underscore is that little dash below. So LX.NCL underscore. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Wednesday. We call it like a Working Divas Wednesday. We shout out and salute all the working divas on Wednesday. We got love for the working divas every day. But Wednesday, we like to make that special, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So go back, if you missed some of this episode, some of this show, go back and binge watch the entire episode. Go back and binge watch all my episodes All my friends, all my family, everybody watching me live, I got a brand new phone, so I want you all to do me a favor on my way out the door. I want you to go ahead and I want you to share this episode, my conversation with Representative Gilliard, a great conversation. Share it with all your friends, and then go to my Facebook page and go and follow me on Instagram, Geno Jones Show, on Instagram, Twitter, at Geno Jones. You'll see that at the end of the show. Share it with all my friends. Share it with all your friends. Share it with folks you don't even like. It's all good. So until Wednesday, I'm ready for the weekend. So until Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, as always, I want to thank everybody for watching. I love you so much, Mother. You know I love you more than life itself. And as always, be blessed. Please, let's pray for peace. Thanks for watching. Once again, thanks to Representative Wendell Gilliard.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.